Hello friends, this is Vedic Astrology by Rani and welcome back, and I thank you so much for all of you coming out and sending me so many messages in box. I am requesting that if you have any comments to make, please do leave on the right below here instead of sending me in my inbox, because it's difficult for me to keep track of what you're saying and I often cannot even reply. I'm here now to talk about horoscopes for the month of December 2020. It's going to be quite an eventful meeting, and we have a lot to deal with in this month, and I'm going to go in details hereafter. So what are the main pointers here? Main thing is, for example, on December 10, we're going to have Venus entering Scorpio. It indicates time for healing and trying to remain truthful to yourself and people around you. You will then benefit. On December 11, we have Sun conjuncting Ketu. It's going to be, I'm sorry to say that, it indicates a sense of loss around the world. Then we have December 14, solar eclipse. Wow. Indicating big changes. It's going to bringing the truth out in the open, especially on elections and governments and authority figures. I will be talking about elections, etc., more in details very soon. On December 17, we have Mercury entering Sagittarius. It will then also cause problems to those who are rigid in their views on others. And so please, I'm requesting, if you don't want to face problems, be flexible in your thoughts and your opinions. Don't force your thoughts on the others. December 23rd, Mars squares Pluto at 29 degrees of Pisces Sagittarius. It will be making it a Gandanta-like circumstances. And if you are familiar with I have been talking about Gandanta in my previous videos, it's like giving a sense of drowning or actual drowning of floods and stuff like that. Unfortunately, also on December 11, could be some attacks on leaders in some of the countries. It could be including USA also. On December 24, then we have Mars entering Aries. That's a good thing actually. You know, it gives a time to heal, especially from coronavirus. Yeah, it's a process will begin now for healing. I'm not saying it's 100% going away, but it's beginning of something good. Yeah. December 29th, we will have full moon in Gemini in the nakshatra of Ardra. It creating a lot of sadness, like I have mentioned few things above, in many countries, because a nakshatra of Ardra represents like crying, tears. So we'll be dropping a lot of tears worldwide, especially many indications are attacks on the government leaders. On December 30th, rather, Pluto is going to enter Capricorn, spilling out all kinds of secrets, hidden things, change. A lot of government. There will be a lot of changes in the governments, and trust me, I have more to talk about in soon. If one word, if I describe Pluto, it's a transformation. So we will be transforming via our governments. That's going to be a lot of transformation, creating the history in the making, you know. And on the last day of this month, we will have Venus in conjunction with Ketu. Again, it's creating losses and the sadness globally. If that's not enough, we have a Kal Sarpa Yoga. We will have other things too. I will be dealing with one thing at a time. At this time, we have a Kal Sarpa Yoga, which means that many of the planets that who could perform better are kind of held up by Kal Sarpa Yoga, and therefore there's a lot of suffocation in our minds and in our thoughts. Around the world, we have to learn to deal with because of this Kal Sarpa Yoga, learn to deal with the coronavirus. And like I said above, that will eventually lead to healing of coronavirus process. Now we have a Jupiter and Saturn that's taking place on December 21st at 6 degree of Capricorn, almost at the same degree where the Mars and Saturn had joined in the past. I think it was March 31st in 2020. So at the time, if you recall, the stock market had went down. So we need to keep that in mind. And due to Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, stock market is going to become very volatile at this time and unpredictable. But most likely it will rise, especially in February, March of 2021. So here is a clue for you guys. If you want to invest, it's probably a good idea to invest now because it will rise in March, so you can make some money then. But again, make sure you study your chart and consult with somebody. Is your chart capable of giving you any benefits from the stock market? Not everybody have a planetary conditions conducive of the investing in stock market. But if you are one of those people, you can keep this in mind that it's going to rise around March next year, and so if you invest now, you will make money. And also I have a on December 24, Mars will leave Pisces, and that's when we see the improvement in coronavirus beginning to happen again. This is another indication. So when Mars will be leaving Pisces. Okay. Now, as you may be aware of it, we have a solar eclipse happening on December 14. But what you may not know is the meaning of this eclipse in astrology. It's going to be at 28 to 29 degree of Scorpio. And again, that's a Gandanta condition, which gives a sense of things going out of control, or like you're drowning or floods may happen. It's a figure of speech. Sometimes it indicates some big changes are on the way. That's another pointer. In most countries, we will see many changes. I'm afraid there may be some natural disasters also, earthquakes, storms, and I am fearful of some potential for attacks on America too. And why I say that also, in addition to this one, we have Neptune that's at Taurus and Scorpio at 25 degrees, and then we have Neptune at midpoint of all of this, and Neptune represents the hidden things, the deceits, denials, scandals, and dark secrets, and all that. And then on top of that, we have Ketu and Mercury that will be at 25 degree of Scorpio, indicating substantial losses or problems in the communications, because especially for USA, because in American chart, it is all this ruckus is taking place in the 12th house of losses, foreign lands, foreigners, and it seems like that's another indication for potential for attacks, especially on the digital information, secret information for the governments, some foreign powers may try to steal the secrets of our classified projects of America. And even, like I said earlier, there is a possibility of attack from the other countries and otherwise also. So, earlier in the Sagittarius, we had, like I said, we had a Jupiter transiting along with the Pluto. And like I said earlier, Pluto is a planet of transformation, and mostly it was giving a radical way of thinking to people. And so now we all know that media plays a big role in bringing out radicals in a much stronger way that actually it may be sometimes. So this thing with the media has been going for decades. Okay, so it has, of course, a played role in many radical thinking, and also, believe it or not, planets are indicating that elections played a big role. Media played a big role in elections too. So there is an indication that if the votes were to be recounted, trust me, it will be in favor of Trump. Okay. If he wins, and then which I don't think he will, but if he does, so I will say that if he does not win, that means there is an injustice to him. according to the planets, for which the public or the country as a whole will have to pay the price in time according to the planets. I'm not saying that, okay? So there was a, because I'm saying that because there will be injustice to him, because even though it will indicate people wanting him, but he probably won't make to the big office, due to some planetary conditions I'm seeing here. There was a lunar eclipse in his fourth house, which it's a place of having power. So again, I think even though he may not make to presidency, if he doesn't make to presidency, he will be even in a more powerful position where he may not even have to worry about all politics and stuff, and he can use his powers to influence American politics and way of life and achievements. He is here to stay. He has a, like I said in my other videos, he has a strong chart. So because he is facing injustice according to the planets, he's going to be here to, he has a lot of karma to deal with the USA chart, okay? So he's going to come out much stronger and powerful position. So because he has a destiny, so he's going to is here in some way or the other, in some big position, he'll be here. So because he was born in a lunar eclipse, and at this time now there will be a solar eclipse at about 29 degree of Scorpio, which will be on his moon, and he has Sun and Rahu in the 10th house, in his 10th house, and Ketu and moon in the 4th house, and his moon is at 28 degrees of Scorpio. That's where the eclipse is happening right now. So Ketu represents losses and darknesses. He's kind of feeling down in the dumps right now, understandably, according to these planetary conditions. But because Rahu is in the 10th house, somehow he's going to be in some very powerful position, like I said earlier. And so he has another reason I keep saying that he's here to stay, because he has a karmic debt that he need to deal with the American public, okay, America in general. So it appears that he's going to bring out a lot of hidden things. He will be the reason to many hidden things of politics, of many other nature will come out in public, because I see that because of the eclipse in Scorpio, and it represents the hidden things from the world or people. But it will help eventually to improve things in general. We may not see immediately, but it will. And so let's see what Biden is doing now. So Biden, on the day of inauguration, he's we have a Mars and Uranus conjunction. So he will probably have, there will be some kind of dramatic or even catastrophic events around the inauguration day. So be careful, folks, be very careful. So we have, like I said earlier, we have Pluto at 0 degree of Capricorn, indicating massive evolution in government sector. Massive, big one. Okay. So therefore, in addition to the eclipse called Sarpa Yoga, we are heading for a big change in the governments. And I say that because on top of all this, we have a return of Pluto in the USA chart, which indicates that the process of the biggest change is in the way into the governments. So expect the unexpected, expect the secrets of all kinds from every nook and cranny coming out in the open, and it's going to be history in the making right in the front of our eyes. And so with that, I want to tell you it's a very impactful days. When I talk about Pluto impacting certain ways, where if those who are learning astrology, wherever the Pluto in your chart is, all that's said about the world, it will impact your chart. This is how you learn astrology. And then this is, if it's a positively situated, then positive transformation will happen. If it's negative, then their results are not that great. It's in a very difficult situation that you will have to deal to transform. Similarly, Neptune. Neptune, I talked about its talks was